think it's a very important piece that needs to be played in the bigger picture. Ivan, can you tell me, and can you start with the beginning? I know you have a lot of accolades. I know there's a lot of things that you've accomplished, but in the beginning, when you were a student, before you became a student, what drove you towards barbering? What was that piece that made you want to become a barber?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me as a guest on your program. Thanks for taking the time to talk. I love sharing the story of just what got me to the beauty and barber business, because I think it speaks to really what our business and industry is all about. I finished high school. I went to a community college. I got a little bit of education. I got a job. And I was in sales, and I had a job that I made good money at the time. I didn't really enjoy. And I was living in apartments before my wife and I were married. And I used to get my hair cut from a girl named Elaine at a shop around the corner from my apartment. And every time she cut my hair, I was disappointed. I was not happy with the haircut.
Okay.
I didn't like the haircut. And I kept going back. And after one visit, walking back to my car in the parking lot, kicking the gravel, unhappy with the haircut, I asked myself a question.
Okay.
The question was, why do I keep going back?
Okay.
Great question.
Right.
And this, I decided to answer it. The answer I came up with was very interesting to our industry. The answer I came up with was, I kept going back because I liked Elaine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had a personal relationship with her that I thought was the type of relationship I should have with the person who cuts my hair. I liked the location. It was convenient. I liked the price. It was what I thought I should pay for a haircut. I liked the magazines they had in the waiting room. I liked the music they played on the radio. I liked the owner. He seemed like a cool guy. I liked the bottle of gel that I bought for my hair from her.
Okay.
I liked every single thing about the haircut except the haircut.
Wow.
And the message I took from this was, stop, take a step back and look at this. This business is not about haircuts.
It's not about haircuts.
This business is about building and maintaining relationships with humans and providing those humans with experiences. When I looked at that, knowing I had a job I didn't like, and I had a customer who owned a hair salon, a customer of my company who bought a few things from me, who owned a large salon in the neighborhood, I looked at this business and I said, you know, I spent most of my youth underneath a car with a wrench, playing with cars, a tool in my hand.
Right.
And a wrench and a scissors aren't that different. I'm good with my hands, and I'm good with tools, and I'm good with sales, and I'm good with people. This looks like this might be fun.
Okay.
And so the next day, I went on a tour at a cosmetology school, and on the spot, I wrote a check and signed up for school. I went to cos school first. About 2 years later, I went to barber school. So I have, where I live in Illinois, there's separate licenses. I have both licenses.
So you're dual license.
And that was 35 years ago.
Wow. So, okay, I'm also dual licensed. So I understand the whole, envision of making sure that you're well-rounded. Now, what was it like when you were in school? Can you talk about that process, right? Being in cosmetology school, learning about, because there are two separate things when we talk about cosmetology, what they learn. I mean, they basically learn the same thing, right? But it's, if you have, depending on the instructors, right? It can be a different experience, right? Because a barbershop experience is totally different than a salon experience.
Sure. Well, first of all, every school can be different based on the instructors. We all have had it at times in our lives, instructors who were passionate and who were inspiring, who lifted us up, who provided us with what we needed when we needed it. And we've also had instructors who were clocking in, clocking out, showing up, and really not giving you much more than that. So I was lucky. Some of my cosmetology school instructors were from the former group and some were from the latter. And you're correct. There's a lot of overlap in the curriculum at its basic level, at its core level. But crossover is so popular right now. People that have a cos license want to go back to school and get a barber license. People with a barber license want to go back to school and get a cos license. And I'm not necessarily a big fan of crossover. And the reason I say that is, and I'd love to know your opinion on this next statement I'm going to make. The reason I say I'm not such a fan of going back to get more, you paid a lot of money for your education. Your education was to get you through the test. Now, the comment I'm going to make is this: cosmetology school doesn't make you a cosmetologist. Barber school doesn't make you a barber. Both of those programs provide you with the information to pass the test in order to achieve your license, and your license is an admission ticket to the game. It lets you in. The real learning happens on the street. The real learning happens standing 1.5 feet behind the shoulder of a mentor. And I define a mentor as a mentor, and I'm sure you in your career have had people that you attribute to being very valuable mentors in your career. I certainly have some of my own, but a mentor is someone who knows what you want to know, who has what you want to have, who does what you want to do, who is where you want to be, and who, in exchange for something, will share with you. And I think the exchange is important because a good mentor relationship is a two-way street. If there's not something in it for the mentor, there's not going to be a whole lot in it for the pupil. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Okay, so what is it that the mentor is looking for as you being a mentor? Because I've seen a lot of people, pay homage to you. What is it that you look for inside of a student or a mentee?
That answer is different for everyone. I can speak for myself. In order for me to enter into that type of relationship, and I think I need to qualify the fact that I serve in a role as a mentor for some folks who are paying me for that. So, one of the things I look for in a good mentee is a credit card that will clear. Okay. Now,
right.
Now I'll put that out there. Now, keeping that in mind, if you've been looking at me on TikTok or Instagram during the month of June, you know that I have talked about July 1, Raise Your Haircut Prices Day in the USA. I have talked about coaching, and I have told people during the month of June, no charge. I will help anyone absolutely free. And sometimes I will stumble into a relationship with someone where their help will be more than just one phone call or an email or a conversation. It will go on and it will continue. And I won't start running the meter. I'm not there to charge somebody. I've helped more people for free than I've helped for money. Because that's not the prime. I have other business and I make plenty of money and I'm not worried about that. But the reality is, what I'm looking for in a mentee is I'm looking for a couple things. Number one, I'm looking for someone who's going to take action on the things I share. So if I share an idea with you, you don't have to like it, you don't have to do it, but you've got to take some action on your own. I may suggest an idea or share something with you that's not right for you, and I respect that. But to take my time and my information and do nothing, you better do something. And you better, you better be moving the needle, because, and I'll tell you, I have some people that I have coached and mentored over the years who, quite honestly, I'm frustrated by the fact that they haven't achieved anywhere near what they're capable of, and certainly not anywhere near what I'm capable of helping them with. But there's only so much I can do. At some point, I've got to, hands off, and I taught you how to swim. Jump in the pool now, honey. It's time to go. So, number one, I'm looking for somebody who's going to take action, not necessarily follow me blindly. I have
Right.
no problem. Ideally, I would also like someone who, when I tell them or make a suggestion, I want that person to ask me why. I want them to challenge me on it. Why do you think I should do that? Why would that work for me? Why is that appropriate for me, for my goals and my hopes and my dreams and my aspirations? So I want somebody to challenge me a little bit. I also want somebody to bring something to the table on their own. What is the value you bring to our relationship? With young people, sometimes it's a fresh perspective. It might be insights. It might be energy, although I don't need any extra energy. There's lots of things young people can bring. It might be access. I've mentored students who have said, you need to come to my school. And I've gone out and spoken to their school, and I've then been able to reach 50 young people in the business who are interested in the message I have to share and who can benefit from the things that I do. And this person has facilitated access. People come up to me all the time at shows and say, boy, it would be great if you could come to my school. And I say, here's your card, give it to your director. I'd love to come to your school, but you're going to have to make it happen. It's not as easy as me just calling your director. You're going to have to get all up in their face, tell them why I need to be there. You're going to have to make it happen. You're going to have to host the thing. You may have to come pick me up at the airport.
Right.
In order to make it happen. But if you're gonna roll up your sleeves and you're helping yourself, you're helping me, and you're also thereby helping others. Now we got something going on.
Nice. Now we talked about how important it is to show your client experience, or to have the experience with your client. We talked about the relationship. What are some of the other things that you would tell a student that's looking, or someone that is a student, or someone that's looking to get into the barbering or the hair industry? What other things would you share with them that makes a difference? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you two things. Number one, I'm super excited about the fact that I have a brand new class that I'm going to be sharing starting in July for the second half of 2023. I always have new content. I always have a new book I'm writing. I always have a new comb and a new tool and a new product, something exciting. And I always have a new class. And the class, have you ever seen that Farmers Insurance commercial with the bald actor guy where he says, we know a few things because we've seen a few things? You know that guy?
Yes.
Well, my new class is called 10 Things I Know for Sure About the Haircut Business. And the idea is, I got 35 years. I've seen a few things and I know a few things. And I don't think I know everything. And I don't know a lot about everything, but I do know 10 things for sure. And I'm going to be sharing those in this class. So if you're going to see me, Corpus Christi, Texas, NorCare Barber Expo, Premiere San Antonio, Premiere in Columbus. There's a whole calendar of shows coming up in the second half of the year. I'm going to be out there. So here's the thing. That I want to share that concept because that's something that's coming, but I want to give you something solid. And I am very often asked, if you could give a cosmetology or barber school graduate one piece of advice, what would be one piece of advice to give a graduate? They finished school, they took the exam, they passed the test, and they got a job. That's exactly what we've asked them to do. They are on track. They're on the way. Ivan, what is one piece of advice you would give a young person brand new entering into our industry? And it's really simple. My piece of advice is this. If you're listening to this video, write this down. For your first job, when you get out of school and you pass the test and it's time to go to work, when you show up at work on day one, lock your cell phone in the trunk of your car.
Yes.
Show up and be present. Open your eyes, open your ears, and be aware. Engage with people, connect with people, look them in the eye when you speak with them, and be there. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's not helping anybody. Young people today, many of them struggle to be able to engage in one-on-one or small group direct relationships with other humans. And that's all this business is relationships with humans. You have to do this. And you don't have to like it, but you have to get good at it and you have to do it.
You know, and I talk to students, and when I talk to students, I talk about the importance of not, like you were saying, being present, but also eye contact. How important is it to have eye contact when someone is talking to you?
It's, it's even important here on Zoom. I've got my laptop set up here on my desk, but because of the height of my laptop, I have a secondary camera. I'm not talking to the camera on here. I'm talking to a camera that is mounted above it at my eye level. So on my posture, I'm standing up straight. I'm looking straight at the camera and talking directly to you. I have to look down from time to time to check the monitor.
Right.
Eye contact is everything. You have to physically be there. If you're not there, you're literally not there. And we've all talked to people in a store, in a retail environment, in a service business. We've all had a conversation with somebody who's clicking the buttons on the machine, who's just not present.
Right. That's
feel
true.
it. And if you're hoping to build a connection with people, I don't know about you, but I believe in miracles. And I believe miracles happen every single day all around us. And I want to give you an example of a miracle. I ask stylists and barbers all the time, have you ever cut a haircut on a customer and that customer came back and bought their next haircut from you instead of buying their next haircut from someone else? In our business, we call that a repeat customer.
Right.
Have you ever had a repeat customer? And of course, everybody says, oh yeah, I have lots of repeat customers. Well, stop, hang on a second, because a repeat customer, when that happens, you are witnessing a miracle, an absolute miracle. Because when you think about how many people cut hair, how many shops and salons are out there in the marketplace, how many influences, billboards on the highway and ads online and coupons in the mail and refrigerator magnets at your brother-in-law's house and business card recommendations from other folks. When you think about how every single person in the barber industry and the beauty industry is trying to pull people into their chair, the idea that a client would ever come back to us again. Right. And I think this is one of the keys, because I don't think enough of the people in our industry choose to see that for the miracle that it is. It truly is a miracle. And when we witness miracles, we take a step back. We are in awe. Perhaps we offer praise to whatever supreme being is part of our cultural belief. But the answer is, we don't take it lightly when we witness a miracle. And that miracle, as I've described it, can happen many times a day, every day. But you're not just going to conjure up a miracle with wishes and hopes and dreams.
That's true.
You're going to have to roll, miracles don't just happen. Miracles require hard work.
Yes.
But if you put in the work, other people see miracles happening to you all the time. You make it look easy. People think, and the word people use to describe people who benefit from miracles on a regular basis, you know what they call those people? They call them lucky. Oh, lucky.
That is true. Yeah, yes.
And luck's got nothing to do with it. If you believe in luck, you need to go to Vegas.
Right. They don't see the hard work that happens, from behind the camera, right? They only see what is put up in front of them, or the possession that happens that you receive afterwards, right?
They see how lucky those people, other people, how lucky those people are.
Right.
And the reason it's easy to chalk it up to luck is because if you didn't do the work and it didn't happen to you, there must be some reason why it happened to them.
Right. you've talked about the classes that you do, the classes that you do at the different expos and the different shows that are around. Do you do any online classes?
I don't do as much as I did at the beginning of the pandemic when we had no other choice.
Right.
I was here in the basement studio and this was my life. I haven't offered as many more recently because I tend to default to shows. You know, I think if I was to offer myself some good advice, I think I should maybe do one a month. Online classes. I think I used to. I could do more. I've sold tickets and done online digital programming and things like that. Inexpensive tickets, because online I can have 1,000 people. Who cares? Fill the room. So I haven't done as many lately. I have done lots of them in the past, and it's probably time for me to do more.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you why though. Is it because? Well, I'm going to let you answer that. I'm thinking.
I'll tell you why.
Okay, go for it.
I'll tell you why. I've been in the business 35 years.
Right.
I'm closer to the end of my career than I am to the beginning of my career.
True.
And one of the reasons why I do a lot of shows, my wife and I travel together. We just did the show in Orlando. Orlando's a 3-day show. We went down to Orlando for 3 days. We did the show. We stayed 3 more days to enjoy our time together in Florida.
Right.
At this point in my life, do an online class, go fishing.
So now that you're talking about fishing, right? I do want to go back to the online. I think part of it has to do with also that you like the interaction.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
The interaction, being in person, because you talk about being present. And I think that is an energy within itself, right? Because it's hard to get energy from someone that is online compared to being...
You got to work a little harder at it. There's no question. I've been successful with it. I grew up in this industry with shows. I've done shows for 35 years. I love the actual live events, no question about it. Because you know what? I like the questions and I like the shaking hands and I like the pictures together. And there's just so much about, hey, let's face it, I'm in the barber business. It's a people thing. I need to be with my community.
With your community.
Yeah.
Now, how can people get in contact with you to find out, to see the shows that you're going to be at, or where you're going to have these classes?
Because IvanZoot.com is the website.
I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, and I hope you don't mind me calling you Ive.
No,
I'm going to say this. I think that it's worth them traveling to wherever it is that you're going to be, to make sure that they are able to sit in. I've had a chance to sit in and watch some of your classes. You're very informative. You're very direct. And you just have a wealth of information that anybody that wants to be in this game need to make sure that they either purchase a book, take a class, or sit up and watch your videos to get the information.
So here's what I'm going to say. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Number one, YouTube. Thousands of videos and they're all free. And there's a new one every week. Podcast. Every single Sunday, brand new episode, absolutely free. So if you have no money and you can't leave your house, I got you. Now that we've covered that, unless you live in Montana or North Dakota,
right,
or maybe South Dakota, at some point in 2023, I will be within 2 hours of your house. Gotcha. I'm doing all the shows nationwide, coast to coast. I'm covering the whole country. I participate in all the major events and some of the not so major events. So if you need and want to see me, IvanZoot.com is the website. On my landing page on my website is a button. It says Ask Ivan. If you click on there, it opens a page. You put in your name, your email, and your message, and you hit submit. You're sending me an email. Now, I don't have people. You're going to be talking directly to me. I will respond to you. If you want to know, tell me where you live. You want to know when I'm going to be there. I used to publish a show calendar of where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be there, but it's a lot of work. I don't do that anymore, but I'm always on Instagram publishing the flyers for what's coming up next. July 16 is Corpus Christi, Texas. July 29 is Jacksonville, Florida. I'm always talking ahead about these things. So you've got time to find a babysitter, get a ticket, buy a tank of gas, and get yourself in a classroom with me somewhere around the country. There's plenty of time.
Okay. So when do you find time for yourself? Because you do spend a lot of time traveling around, doing different shows, podcasts, right? I watch you on IG, Instagram. You're telling everybody about raising the prices. Talk about, when do you get time for yourself?
Well, there's 24 hours in a day. I go to bed early. I always have. I get up early. I'm in the gym before 6 o'clock every morning. And that's part of the physical health, the mental health, the time for myself, the recharge and everything like that. I have time set aside. You know, I have a day of the week and a time of the day when I record my podcast. Things like YouTube videos, I do those in batches. I'll come down here in the studio and I'll shoot 8 videos.
Got you.
And then I will load them up, put them up, schedule them out. So they're coming out every week. I don't have to go to YouTube for two months. Now I still check my comments and content. I get on there and I interact with people, but I don't spend a great deal of time doing that. You know, I'm a little bit of a magician in which I'm able to create the feeling that I am everywhere all the time, all at the same time.
Right, right.
Keep in mind, social media is an illusion. It is not real life. You know, I'm spending time doing plenty of other things. I'm cleaning the yard and I'm sweeping the garage and I'm doing all the other things I got to do too.
Right, right. Okay. So I've just one last question. You have this campaign, Raise Your Prices, July 1. Can you talk about it and why?
July 1 is our professional haircutter holiday. I created this holiday 14 years ago. It's coming up on 14 years. Not because you should go up on July 1. You go up when the numbers of your business, when the health of your business says you should go up. But like any other holiday, the purpose of July 1, first of all, if you're going to use the calendar, July 1 is the best day to go up. But there are many people that go up many other times of the year. But the purpose of July 1 as a focused holiday was to give us 2 things. Number 1, it was to give us June. I spend the entire month of June talking about haircut pricing strategy, the logic, the thought process, the rules, the metrics, the benchmarks, the formulas. That's what this book is all about. The Professional Haircutter's Pricing Playbook. This is what I'm giving away for free on video all month long. And the book is on sale. It's regularly $25. It's $18 for the month of June. It's the 13th book I wrote, and it's the only book I haven't finished. The book is filled with empty spaces like that. You plug in your numbers, the data, the information of your business, and you work the formulas. And next week, next month, and next year, as your business grows, you come back to the book. You use a pencil so that you can update the numbers and rework the formulas. Business decisions, money decisions are not made with your head, your heart, or your gut. Money decisions are made with a calculator and a pencil. So the real purpose of the holiday is education. The real purpose of the holiday is to foster discussion amongst us and learning amongst us. There are people in the business with years and years more experience than I have. And there are people in the business who are brand new rookies. And like the mentor relationship, we all got to be sharing. We got to be talking. When it comes to price increases, people have emotional connection. They have fear and anxiety and worry and concern. I want people, when they think about haircut price increases, I want people to experience joy and confidence and empowerment and excitement about these things, not fear and sadness and worry. You don't worry that you're going to lose customers. Quite frankly, you hope that you will lose customers when you raise, and that's a conversation for a whole nother day. Why
Right.
do you want to lose? Who do you want to lose? And how do you want to lose them as you move up in the business? But Nothing, this is my legacy to the industry. This holiday, long after I'm gone, people will know about this holiday. They will still celebrate this holiday. We will still engage in this holiday together. But the whole foundation of this is encouraging sharing and dialogue about professional pricing and strategy so that we can all do what I call right pricing. And what I mean by right pricing is it's not about how high do you go. It's
Right.
about getting your price right. And what I mean by that is you want to respect the balance between how much money are you asking for and how much experience are you delivering. And I say this all the time. If you want to go out of business in the barber business really quick, charge $50 and deliver a $25 experience. You're going out of business. Now,
Yes.
I'll give you the other one. If you want to go out of business in the barber business really fast, charge $25 and deliver a $50 experience. You got to respect the balance. And it's different for everyone based on the experience you create, based on the value proposition that you offer. You and I both know people who are cutting hair for $9.
Yes.
And you know what? If you're doing $9 haircuts and you're banging them out in 8 minutes and you're doing 7 of them every hour, God bless America. But at the same time,
Right.
you and I know somebody who's getting 120,
Right.
and they're spending an hour with someone. God bless America.
Yes.
There's a price for everyone. There's an experience for everyone. And this business is big enough for everyone to do their thing their way.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your time with us. And I'm gonna get this together. I'm gonna put it out. You know, I know it took a minute for us to get together. I really appreciate.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's definitely do it again. So I've been following you for a while, right? The first place that I seen you was at a Bronner Brothers show some 7-8 years ago. Looking to really build a relationship. I love the information that you provide. Thank you once again, Ivan. You know, keep doing what you're doing because you have a wealth of information and people need to hear it. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for inviting me to do this. Please keep in touch. Please let me know how I can be valuable to you and the good things you're doing. When you post this up online, send me the links, tag me in it so that I can be sharing it out there to expose some of the good things you're doing and to continue to grow all of our communities.